topics in sports entertainment.
Right. I got two left hooves. Who on test? Well, since nobody's stepping to me, take me to your cult leader. Take me to your local drug dealer. Take me to the man in the mirror when you stand and deliver with your hand on the trigger. An emotional terrorist. I-double-M-U-N-E. Never make my enemy public. I'm a private dancer, dancing for money. Do that thing that's corny.
I'll make you wanna move. I'll make you wanna do.
You know, I really am going to have to update that.
Why is that?
Because that's all AEW bullshit. I was just watching.
You were just sitting there looking at it and going,
I was just watching. I was like, there's a lot of AEW crap in this. Welcome, everybody, to Spot Monkey Radio on Saturday, August 30th. Summer just flew on by, didn't it, Malik? We are in
I'm
September.
happy that it did because I can't stand the heat and I fucking hate mosquitoes.
It's very true. I'm
Hello.
excited to see the crisp, cool autumn weather return. I'm very happy about that. A lot has happened in the last couple of weeks in pro wrestling. We missed the last week because some personal stuff, but you're back at it. A lot of shit has happened. I don't know if you really want to touch on that whole shit with the MMA guy.
But all I'm gonna say is this: this could have easily been taken care of, all behind the scenes, backstage.
I agree.
If you're familiar with wrestling lingo, you know what a receipt is, and you know how a receipt is taken care of.
Yeah.
It happens in the ring, not behind the damn scenes.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, wrong is wrong. I hope nobody's actually bringing race into it because that's just stupid above all else. And there'll be more to the story within this week coming, I bet.
Yeah, when the guy starts talking, the guy like woke up in the hospital or whatever. Well, here's my only, like, I think I said it a couple days ago on somebody's podcast. I feel like everybody's at fault. Not one person should take sole ownership. Now, granted, he had 2 hours to cool off, and he chose to listen to a bunch of teenagers ramp him up on his stream. Whereas I felt like if this was like supposed to be a work, this is what makes me laugh. You see some of these people saying that it's a work. Some of these MMA fighters are saying it's a work. It makes me laugh because it's just like, well, that's what pro wrestling did. You don't know what's fake anymore and what's real, I guess, because that looked pretty fucking real to me. But I just feel like if it was supposed to be a work, I really truly feel like everybody should have been in on it. Like if you're gonna work, the point of the work is to have the people who are working you to be in on it. I hate when one person just thinks, "Oh, I thought you were working." Like, no, like you shouldn't have picked up a kid and hit him, even if you thought he was a worker. He wasn't in on the work. You didn't know any better. So I just feel like that was fucked up. The way they calmed it down, the way that guy ramped him up in the locker room, said, "Give him the receipt." You don't really explain how that works. You got to smarten him up. He doesn't know anything, and then he's at fault for just not letting it go, especially when the guy apologized a bunch of times and he shook his hand. Like at that point, it's over with. It's not a big deal.
For me, seeing it, I want to say maybe over 30 years ago when Cactus Jack McFoley had his feud with Vader in WCW, and Vader legitimately broke his nose. That was real, but also it was a work.
Yeah.
This guy has no type of wrestling background. He's currently training to be a part of MMA.
Yeah.
So for me, what it was is I was like, the only thing I was questioning was the fact that he picked him up so easily, so convincingly. So that part of me made me think there was something planned at first before hearing all his commentary and all this other stuff with people. Basically, I don't want to say that people amped him up because he seemed like he was amped up to do something without anybody saying anything.
Yeah,
that's just me.
I just assumed that when he picked this guy up, he probably assumed like, oh, I guess we're doing that. We're doing this thing now.
Yes.
Whatever it was, right? And then I assumed that was, if I'm not mistaken, now obviously been out of the game a very long time, so I don't know. But if I'm not mistaken, the way it looked to me was he thought that was it. The guy was going to come in, slam him, and that
Mhm.
probably would have been the end of it. I don't think he assumed that he was going to jump on top of mount him and start just nailing him with punches. I think that is probably, and like a lot of people said he got knocked out on the slam. I
I
just think
don't think.
I don't think
Here's the thing. I don't think that was the next thing I was gonna bring up. When because mind you, he picked him up. It's the same way if you would just go into your room and just pick up a towel that easily.
yeah.
Had him up. I think it was to make him look like the slam knocked him out,
Yeah.
and then he's playing that, and then before you know it, he's gonna haul off and hit him. Because if he was a part of the whole idea, where it got real for sure was definitely the punches.
The punches, yeah, because I feel like he dead sold the spine buster. And then
Yes.
before he had time to react, this guy was on top of him, just knocking him out with punches. That's what it looked like to me. Um, I don't know if you saw a lot of this stuff, but people talk about attempted murder, which I guess I can understand that because he was talking about beating the shit out of him. But I just feel like he would probably get hit with an aggravated assault charge. And if I'm willing to bet dollars to donuts here, I would assume that the guy who's in the hospital is not even going to press charges because he knows that it was all just a fucked up situation. And I mean, if he does whatever. But I just don't. I think the whole thing's gonna become one of those like weird moments in time that like this where we just talk about how a staged event became real in a matter of seconds. You know, like this. This brings me to my next point. The shit you sent me today. I am so over celebrities coming to wrestling on every fucking level. Forget WWE. At least WWE, they smart you up. They give you months to train. They ingratiate you into the storyline. They make sure you understand what the fuck the deal is before you go out on TV and do your shit, do your shtick. But this Paul Whitehauser, whatever the fuck his name is, and all these other guys that are coming from Karate Kid, being like, "Yeah, I don't want to be a like enough." It's one thing if you train, you work your ass off, and you become a wrestler. I'm not saying Paul Hausler or whatever the fuck his name is not working his ass off. I'm just done with this. Everybody thinks that just because some of these guys are coming into the wrestling business that you could just bring in a celebrity or somebody from MMA. And with all due respect to Rampage Jackson's son, I didn't know who the fuck he was until he knocked this guy out. I didn't even know Rampage Jackson had a son in MMA. I didn't know he had kids, but I didn't know he had him in MMA. You know what I'm saying? So it was just one of these things where I think people just the word celebrity is getting misconstrued. And I was telling you about this like last couple weeks where they show these people on Netflix and you're like, who the fuck is this? And it's like, oh, they have the 7th best show on Netflix. And it's like, what? Like, I don't know who any of these people are. And I just feel like it's becoming a real problem as of late. And that's what happened. I think I knew this was going to eventually happen because eventually somebody wasn't getting smart enough. They were going to think that it was real. And, you know, I'd hate to say the TNA line, but cross the line. And that's what happened. Now, I don't, like I said, I don't think these insane charges will be pressed. If some people like some people saying attempted murder, some people are saying I don't think all of that. I think everybody's at fault across the board. I think you got a real good glimpse at the vetting process for the WWE ID system. There is none. They just slap IDs on people that it's Rikishi's company. Let's do it for Rikishi. And it's just it's Booker T's company. We'll do Booker T's. Some of them deserve it, some of them don't, and I think you saw the some that don't because they're not really doing a great fucking job. Just because Rikishi's name's attached to it, he's not training people. It seems like his cousin is Black Pearl, and so I hate to be that fucking guy, but I don't want to trash all the wrestling. It's just like independent wrestling and everybody's struggling to make it, but do the job right. If you're gonna bring somebody in who has no fucking idea what's going on, and he's gonna bring in a streaming audience, which he kind of did, I guess, then smarten the fucking guy up to everybody knows what the fuck is going on. So if this guy's gonna cream him with a soda can or whatever the fuck it was, then at least, hey, what's up, Stuart? And then at least he knows what the fuck is going on. He can sell it, and you can sell an angle and play it off the way you play it off. I don't know. I want to know
That's my whole thing right there.
Yeah.
In reality, in real life, all of us, if
Yeah.
somebody were to invade our personal space,
Yeah.
once you do that, you have all right to flip out.
Yeah,
When it
no,
happens to me on my 9 to 5 basis when I'm at work, I
Yeah.
kind of get a little invisibly aggressive.
Yeah.
I don't say any words. I'm just standoffish.
Yeah.
When it comes to a person's face, you don't have the right to disrespect anybody's face
Yeah.
at
Especially when they
any
don't
point
know
in
it.
time. So to play around with touching somebody with a can was already wrong.
Yeah.
When the dude was man enough to apologize to Rampage Jackson's son, that should have been it.
That should have been.
It
That's
should
that's
have
how I.
been dealt with.
Yeah. Yeah.
Period.
Yeah. But
But
even like you
because this
said,
was being filmed, I think, and on camera,
yeah.
he made it more extra than it ever needed to be.
Yeah. Here's the thing that my confusion by it. Like you said something very, very true. Even if we're wrestlers, we're workers. You still don't invade my personal space without me knowing about it. So you don't just pick up a can and hit me and expect me to sell it because I'm not in on this work. Like I have no
Mm,
idea what the fuck you're doing. I have no idea if you want to actually hit me with a can because you're being an asshole. Like the guy, was it Justin Booth just said? There's a lot of alcohol going on. There was a lot of alcohol consumption apparently going on before the show even fucking started. Which, like I
yeah.
said, at least not to say that we've never been around it because we have, right? But I was one of those guys that never wanted any of that shit before wrestling matches because I didn't want to hurt somebody because I was intoxicated or fucked up. Like that
Correct.
was
Or get
my
yourself hurt for that matter. Yeah.
exactly. So, like to me, that's a big no-no. And then to invade the guy's space, whether you think he's a worker or not, you're wrong because he wasn't in on the work. He was in on the work, then you both could have sold something. You don't just take it upon yourself. That's still going into business for yourself because you're
Yeah.
still trying to like get over. And it's like, what are you doing, dude? You don't know this fucking guy. You don't know if he's a worker or not, even if he is. So like I said, that's why my personal opinion was everybody was fucking wrong.
Yeah.
But when you apologize, and he apologized profusely, and then you shook his hand like, "Hey, it's all good. It's all good. It happens." It's dead. At that point, there is no more. There's no going back to it. So when you do what you did, and you get hyped up by this other guy who then goes online and doubles down and tells you right he's in character, it's like shut the fuck up. But
Uh, the thing that probably comes off for me as like not that it's actually funny, but it's funny when you think about it.
yeah,
From what I understand, the promoter of the promotion just so happens to be Rikishi. That's supposed to be his thing, right?
yeah.
Knox
Well,
Pro.
he's in charge of it. His cousin Black Pearl is the one who does all the
Oh,
booking.
okay. But the thing that's interesting is the man has a podcast and he'll go on rants and complain
Yeah,
about how his
yeah.
children are booked and so on and so forth. This incident happens and
Silence. Yeah,
not a word,
yeah,
nothing to be said,
yeah.
not even to say that dude was wrong. For me, those are the things that I just be like, is anybody paying attention to that? How quiet it got. And then the joke online is, the whole situation with WWEID, WWE basically, like we're not doing business with this promotion anymore.
Yeah.
And then they're like, also last night, Sami Zayn defeated Solo. So it was like two losses, and it may want to make his head pop off or some shit.
Yeah.
I just thought that was funny.
I feel like I feel like I said this before. Like you're seeing the vetting process for this ID system, and it's not very
Mhm.
good. You're just slapping IDs on people because of their name. Like, oh, Rikishi, okay. Like I said, Booker T. And like I said, some companies it deserve because reality of wrestling is very good. But like some of them don't. Some of them need to work hard. They should earn that thing, that little
Yes.
ID system thing. You know what I'm saying? So like, and I think this was an eye opener. And I think that's why all this stuff happened. And here's another thing too. I don't know if you noticed this, but like I feel like the Samoans they started to get on a bit of a high horse because of all this shit with Roman and the dynasty and all and the bloodline. And now I think they're getting knocked down a peg to you realizing that they're not as glorious or as much of a like they are flawed people too. Like and they don't run their school very well clearly because all this shit happened. As you can see, if you are a representative of that school, the first thing he should have done was damage control. Everybody knows your face. You're Rikishi. It's your school.
Hmm.
So you should have done something on your podcast. So yeah, listen, I know what happened. This is a bad day,
Yeah.
but like I said, I feel everybody should be reprimanded. Should he serve jail time? I don't know if it was extreme as attempted murder, like I'm hearing some of these people fucking spew. But
It was definitely a form. It was definitely a form of it's assault, flat out.
it's
Not
the
a form.
aggravated
It's
assault.
assault.
Like,
So
yeah,
so
straight up assault. Yeah.
you. Hey, generic thing to be said. You do the crime, you do the time.
Yeah. So if you go to jail, you
Uh,
got to understand that you had 2 hours to cool off. You chose to ramp yourself up to a point to do that, and
hey,
here's the thing too. It'd be one thing if it was a he said, she said bullshit,
Mhm.
but it was all on camera documented. The whole thing. From start all the way after the finish, when he was talking about he's sick and tired of people calling him a bitch and all that
Yeah.
stuff. So it's like everything was caught on camera. So you can't not watch it and be like, what the fuck like, what are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? Like everybody is at fault here. Everybody is at fault. From the promoter to the wrestler Styko Stu to the guy who ramped up the other guy, AJ, whatever his fucking name is.
Yeah,
Uh
that dude in the cowboy hat obviously not only was fired from the promotion, but lost his
they,
daytime.
yeah,
You lose part of your livelihood, your income. He it was two incomes most likely coming
yeah,
in. Now you're screwed. Now, if anybody sees you and they recognize you, they're not going to want to hire you. They're not going to
yeah.
want to put you back on shows, so on and so forth. Your entire life has now changed. The last statement I'm just going to make about the incident, so that we could move forward.
Yes, please.
You know, you decide to go on a rampage,
Nice.
and now you have to deal with the consequences.
Yeah. Yeah. You had everything at your fingertips, and because of anger ruined it. It ruined it. Now, speaking of anger, did you see Logan Paul's this little thing he's doing with John Cena now? Are you a fan of it going into Clash at Clash of Paris? And we'll just lead right into Clash of
Um,
Paris right now.
it's definitely interesting. It's definitely something that I wasn't expecting to see on
Yeah,
his final tour. I thought Cena was going to face the best of the best of people that have been his opponents.
that's what I thought. Yeah. Now I'm like I like what Logan Paul's doing. He's talking about how he's the future or whatever the fuck he's saying. And John Cena came out and basically called him like a dollar store John Cena, and
Yes.
it basically saying to him like you better respect this business, which is like I like when John Cena, at least this last year of John Cena's career, because he's kind of like work shooting, like he's working, but he's still telling you like facts that like
Yes.
you need like that people are like you need to know this because this is that they're actually speaking the truth about you. Because like
Mhm.
people love Logan Paul, but you could just tell he's got a lot of go away heat. I don't know if you like.
Yes.
I always what? Yeah, I always could. Thank you,
Oh,
baby.
hold on a second. Hold on a second. Hold on a second, Tony.
Pull the
Where's
mic
her
down.
mic?
It's on her head.
Where's
It's on her head.
where's
Well, I just
nah.
say that he was screaming. That's why I didn't pull it down
Yeah.
because it was just. A
I
tiny
say
sound.
go away heat is when they boost so loud that you have to scream into the microphone,
Got you.
and that's what
Well,
he was.
what I needed to hear was the producer's voice on the microphone.
Yeah,
Just because you're not seen on camera doesn't mean you're not a part of the show, lady.
absolutely.
Okay?
Yeah.
She's like, he's bullying me. Just so y'all know, you see this. So when I get kicked off in the future, you know whose decision it
No.
was.
Every time she talks, I go like this.
Yeah.
Watch, she put the two fingers up like The Rock did in Canada to Cena. That's it. I'm
Yeah.
done for.
Or I do that thing that Macho Man did to Miss Elizabeth, where he grabs her by the chin at WrestleMania 5. When he
Yo. That was his way of threatening women that we got to see. Because he did it to Sapphire too. Like,
he grabs her by the chin. Oh, it's so funny. Oh my god! So, Clash at Paris. Why is it on Sunday? That was a surprising. I thought it would be on Saturday.
I don't know what's taking place today for it to be on Sunday.
Yeah,
I know that, Clash they're gonna be in Paris 2 nights.
Yeah, right.
Or technically it would be 3 if we included yesterday, but they're gonna do Raw from Paris, which
Okay.
that'll start at an early start time of 2 o'clock. Imagine
Yeah.
that 2 o'clock, you get to watch Raw in the afternoon if you're home, and then you just get to go on about your business. We've made it now that Monday Night Raw doesn't have to be in demand if you were watching it before on cable television. Now you have the option of saying, maybe I don't want to watch it Monday, maybe I'll watch it Thursday. Like,
really have the option now. Watch whenever.
yeah,
You know what I love?
that's what it's coming to.
I don't know if you've noticed this, but like I usually what I do with Raw is I start it at like 8:30, so
Mhm.
that it'll just bypass all the commercials
Got you.
until it catches up. So sometimes I'll start it at like 9. It all depends. But like I like you go while you watch the replay, it's just commercial free. You just
Mhm.
watch the fucking thing right through, skip through to what you want to watch. But we were talking about this too. But let's just stick on Clash at Paris. So it's John Cena
Mhm.
versus Logan Paul. Do you think? And I don't believe this, obviously. But I'm just putting this out there as devil's advocate. Is this like a torch passing match, or is this a proving ground match to prove that this guy is here to stay? And I mean here to stay as in Logan Paul. And
I don't see it as some. I
Okay,
definitely
so
don't see it as something of passing the torch.
no, man, I didn't see that
I
either.
I feel like Cena kind of already did that with Cody at
Cody, yeah,
SummerSlam.
okay, yeah,
So you move forward.
yeah, because I
Uh,
feel like he. Now I'm not saying pass the torch, but I'm saying like he did passing the torch to the baby face, and now he's gonna like work what could be the biggest heel in WWE. Like I don't know between the next couple of years, and I think he's just trying
this,
to put a stamp of approval on him, like not a passing of the torch, but like,
mhm.
all right, yeah, you're good, you can hang here, that kind of stuff.
Oh, I could see that as well. I almost can go as far as nearly possibly seeing Logan Paul win this match. I know that may sound crazy to some, but there's that possibility that's there that's in the air.
Yeah, John Cena doesn't
Um,
need to win anymore. Just fucking let.
this is this is one of the more interesting shows
Yeah,
because it does not feature Cody Rhodes at all or even in the main event. Obviously, it's already been spoken about that he is currently filming for Street Fighter,
yeah,
and they're saying that the potential chances of him coming back probably won't be until WWE WrestlePalooza or after that. Those are the rumors. We
yeah,
don't have any facts there. Um, so with the card that we're seeing so far, Cena and Logan Paul is definitely the big attraction match
yeah. It's a big
to
marquee
get you
match.
to watch. Yes.
Yeah,
Obviously it's not the main event, but this is to further show the viewing audience that Logan Paul is somebody that we need to maintain watching, and quite possibly he's here to stay for a long while.
yeah. I feel like this is basically a match that proves to you that this guy, while an internet again, this boils down to what I was just talking about before about celebrities. If you work hard, like he does, he owns a wrestling ring, he trains every day, then and you could potentially be a professional, right? You could be a WWE superstar, but it's
Mhm.
like you got to work. That's what John Cena is basically saying. Like you have to
Yes.
prove, not to me, to the people, because they see through the fugazi, they see right through it. So if you're going to prove to them that you want to be here, then you need to prove to them that you want to be here. So and I feel like that's what this match is about. Um,
Mhm.
is Seth Rollins wrestling? Is he defending the
Seth
championship?
Rollins is defending the World Heavyweight Championship against challengers Jey Uso,
L.A. Knight
LA Knight, and
and
CM
CM
Punk,
Punk. Okay,
which
okay.
is more than likely to. I want to say that's the main event of the show. If it's not and it winds up being Cena and Logan Paul, I'll actually be shocked.
Yeah,
But, most likely this is Seth Rollins retaining his championship.
I think so
I
too.
can't
Okay.
see them changing the title and putting it on LA Knight as hell, even anytime soon.
Yeah. Do you think CM Punk ever gets the belt back?
No, I don't think. Hell, I don't even think he needs it back.
Yeah, I don't think so neither. That was
You
funny
know,
though. The way
my,
they played him. 5 minutes, he was champion.
I mean, CM Punk is already a top star. He's a made man. It
Yeah,
didn't matter where he went to, from his days in being a Ring of Honor as the top guy
yeah,
to coming along through being in WWE CW to becoming the top guy on that show to being moved over into the main roster of Raw and SmackDown events and being the top guy there. So it was like no matter where this man went, he was going to be one of their big players.
yeah,
As far as Seth Rollins, this is to further, keep the championship on him, and maybe we'll see him with that title going into next year's WrestleMania.
yeah, yeah.
I can see some potential challengers as far as like, if not Roman Reigns, Sami Zayn, one
So
of the two.
this card only has one world championship on the line.
Yes.
Are the tag team titles on the line? Any
The
of
tag titles are on the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. Street
champions?
Profits are defeated Mellow Miz, Carmelo Hayes, and the
Yeah.
Miz last night, and they are now the number one contenders to take on the Wyatt Six. Uh, Definitely an interesting story that's going to play into it is going to be the split up, possibly the Street Profits. I think that's
Yeah.
something that they're going to lean into.
Did you see that thing with Bo Dallas where he showed up as Bo Dallas and was kind of like saying
Yes.
that eventually they're going to break up? So that's
Yeah.
interesting to see. Now, let me ask you this question. Who is the Shawn Michaels and who is the Jannetty of that team? Or do you think they both flourish?
Before, I used to look at it that Montez Ford needs to be on his own. He's got to do something. Now I kind of see them both as equals. I feel that Dawkins has gone out of his way to get better in the ring. He's been showing it more and more. It's a shock that they're actually getting to be on back to back PLEs this year,
PLEs, yeah.
because usually it's rare to even see any tag teams on a PLE.
Yeah.
And if it winds up being tag teams, it's always wind up being women's matches. Not that there's anything wrong with it, but you know, there's some people out there that really love tag team wrestling, and when you don't get the opportunity to see it,
Me? I
you're
love
just
tag
like,
team.
yes.
Man, tag team wrestling is an art form in itself.
But Wyatt Six, I see coming out of that match as the winners.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you got to plant the seeds of deception between the Street Profits.
Yes.
Now. Yeah.
But they've been teasing that even after they lost. What is it? After SummerSlam, there was something that they had filmed where they went to interview them, and I think Montez, or maybe it was Dawkins, I can't remember exactly which one, didn't say anything in the interview and just walked away, and the other one was standing there like, what was that about? So I don't know why. Like, then that Friday they were just perfectly fine. I was just like, what are y'all doing? Y'all keep going forward with things and then going back. It was like when we were about to see AJ Styles and Braun Breaker, and then afterwards that just never happened. They neuralized us like we're Men in Black, and we don't remember anything except that we have a happy life. We need to go on living it.
Yeah, you know, a lot of times people crucify Tony Khan for starting storylines and not finishing, but I've noticed the WWE has been guilty of it quite a few times.
Oh
in
yeah.
recent memory. And it's like, what happened to that thing? Why didn't you even follow through
Why
with
isn't
that?
Drew McIntyre still the bloodline killer? Why wasn't he doing the search like he had started doing? And then that was a start and stop as well.
Yeah, it was weird.
It's different things that they start doing, and you're just like, why are you pulling that away from us?
Yeah.
One of the other big feature matches, because Naomi had to give the championship due to finding out that she's pregnant.
Mhm.
So this is her time. This is her moment. They replaced that match with Becky Lynch defending the Women's Intercontinental Championship against Nikki Bella. And to be honest, I am actually a fan of the story. It's not bad. I don't have high expectations for the match, but I do see it being entertaining.
Is it true that Becky Lynch is pregnant again?
That I do not know. And if
literally-
she is, that's wild.
Before I sat at this computer, there was a wrestling Facebook group that just had a picture of it, says she's pregnant with a new baby. Now I don't know if it's true, and I don't know if it's if it's bullshit.
I think we're gonna have to wait on that one.
Yeah. If it's not, I don't think it is true. But if it is true, then I wouldn't be surprised if Nikki.
It's not.
It's not
But
true.
she wanted to have one.
Okay, thank you, baby.
So that obviously that was clickbait for sure. But like here's something that threw me off guard. Reading and seeing that that Brandy was pregnant with a second child, and we're just like, wait. But then remembering now, we haven't seen her since last year's Mania. So, that makes sense as to why he's pulled off TV as well.
You think he'll name that one a story or some shit like that?
He already no. He I think the second daughter's name is Lalani. I believe. Yes.
Christ. Cody Rhodes. That's definitely a
She already had it. She already had a name. We went from Liberty to now Lalani. Yeah.
It sounds like
a lot of L's right there, Daddy, with them
Liberty,
names.
Iris Runnels and Leilani Ella Runnels.
Yeah, that's
there you go.
Right there. Like Leilani, we have to take you to your music lessons.
The only bad part for me is thinking of old school women's wrestler Leilani Kai, because that's the only Leilani I've ever heard of or knew. So
that's a Hawaiian name, no? Right? That sounds Hawaiian or like an islander or Leilani. I don't know. Anyway,
I'm trying to figure out what other. Let's see. We've already went through 4. We said, Roman Reigns taking on Big Bronson Reed.
Oh yeah,
it is Hawaiian.
It is Hawaiian. Thank you.
It means heavenly flowers.
Oh, see, that was a good guess. That was a fucking
there you
guess.
Go.
Roman Reigns got to get his sneakers back. He's running out of shoes.
Well, here's a little thing that was funny. They took back the Tribal Thief T-shirt. They had put it out, which was cool because it was the Jordan 3s on the shirt. Here's the problem. It was the Jordan 3s on the shirt. Without it saying, Air Jordan or anything, or Jordan on the sneaker. And I was like, that kind of reminds me of about 7-8 years ago when John Cena had the Pabst Blue Ribbon Cena shirt. And they put it out at first, and then they turned around, and I was so pissed off at this point. I was like, Come on, I was ready to order it, and then
Yeah.
they made a deal with PBR, and before you know it, the shirt came back out.
Yeah.
Which I have both versions of that tee, of course.
MJ's
Just
probably
recently, because I'm in the process of moving, I've been folding a lot of John Cena t-shirts.
It's funny. Fucking MJ's at his big ass mansion, just like just watching. He sees that shirt come up in WWE. He goes, that offended me. I took that
Yo,
personally.
for real. Like I was like, so now it's just plain and it just says Travel Thief, and I said nobody wants that shit.
Nobody wants that. Yeah, everyone wants the shoes.
You know?
Yeah. That's funny. I don't. It just seems like a lackluster card. No, doesn't seem like anything.
It feels very TV-ish. It
Yeah.
feels very raw for Netflix right now.
That's how I feel.
It almost feels like maybe even a house show, dare I say. So all the matches in total that I know of are CM Punk, LA Knight, Jey Uso, Seth Rollins,
Yeah.
Fatal 4-Way for the World Heavyweight Championship, Women's Intercontinental Title match, Becky Lynch defending against Nikki Bella, Randy Orton versus Drew McIntyre because Randy is a friend of Drew, so Randy's a friend of Cody, so he's coming to his defense up against Drew, which was another match. Most likely is going to elevate Drew McIntyre to get a W on a PLE over somebody big such as Randy Orton.
Yeah.
The SmackDown Tag Team Championships, the Wyatt Six defending up against Street Profits. John Cena taking on Logan Paul.
Yeah. Wow.
But Roman Reigns and Bronson Reed, I feel like Bronson Reed needs that win.
That would be a
surprised
big
us to give him that W. Yeah.
And when does he go away to film his Street Fighter stuff?
I think honestly he may have been filming off and on for the time that he was away certain days.
I don't know
because he was at Raw this week. You know, I don't know if he flew back out to wherever it is that they're filming and then came back in because obviously on Sunday he's going to be there for the show.
Yeah. How bad do you think that movie's going to be? Just a bunch of.
Well, I don't know. We got to remember that in '94 we had a Frenchman playing an American with that accent.
In my boat, I'm going to drive to M. Bison. That guy, he was the worst movie I've ever seen in my life. Oh my God, make fun.
I mean, for what it's worth, I always enjoyed Raul Julia's performance. Regardless, he just sounded convincing to me.
Okay, so I don't know who's in the movie. I know Cody Rhodes is Guile and Roman Reigns is Akuma.
I believe. I think also Jason Momoa. So having him and Roman Reigns in the same place is pretty funny.
Who was Jason Momoa playing?
I don't even remember, to tell you the truth.
Is he playing Blanca? If he's playing Blanca,
he might be. He might be.
Directed by a Japanese guy, Kitao Sakurai.
Yeah, well, it's a Street Fighter is a Japanese game. It should be directed by a Japanese man.
It's a American martial arts film.
Yeah, exactly. I want to kick your ass, Street Fighter style.
Okay, so I have the whole cast here.
All right, gotta read the cast.
Want to know?
We know that Guile is Cody Rhodes and Akuma is Roman Reigns, right? And it's just a bunch of nobodies, right? It's about like a bunch of
Noah Centineo.
Yes, I don't know any of these people.
Ken, Andrew Koji is Ryu, whatever. Jason Momoa is Blanca.
Okay, so Jason Momoa is Blanca.
Roman Reigns Akuma, Orville Peck is Vega, Kalina Liang is Chun-Li, Curtis 50 Cent Jackson.
Who's he? Balrog,
yeah.
That's awesome.
Andrew Schultz as Dan Hibiki.
I don't know. I don't understand that casting, but go ahead.
David Malkian as M. Bison. Cody Rhodes as Guile. Hiroki Goto as E. Honda. And Vidyut Jamwal as Dalsim.
Wait a minute. Who is E. Honda?
Hiroki Goto.
Hiroki Goto? Is that a Hirooki?
Yeah.
That's a wrestler from New Japan. If it's in fact him that's going to be in the movie, that's a little crazy. Yeah. Once she said the name, I was like, wait a minute, I know that guy.
Wow.
I was not expecting that. That's kind of cool.
Did you think
it looks good with the people cast?
Yeah. Well, I saw like one of the movie sets. They showed a guy Ken, like they showed the guy Ken who's playing Ken, and he was just shredded, and he was just like
he's an American actor.
Yeah, with his muscles and shit like that. So I was
he was on Disney Channel.
But Andrew Schultz is Dan. I don't get because Andrew Schultz is like skinny like a rail.
Yeah, that is weird.
I don't understand that casting. But
the fact that he's being for him, it's cool. For us looking at it, I guess you would know so more than I would with the character and the visual. You're like, you don't see it. Or like, are you shaving that mustache? Like, what's going on? Obviously, they can put prosthetics in on him for facial hair and stuff. But I was just like,
March 20th, 2026.
That's the release date.
Yeah.
Okay. I just never thought we would see a Street Fighter movie again. That's weird.
So now it makes you go, oh, if Roman Reigns has plans to get his world championship again, is he going to go against Cody? So they do. I feel like they're going to do Cody Roman 3 at some point.
Do you think so?
And imagine a build going towards the movie.
What will be cool though is
Some
they'll come
chopper.
out next year in some kind of outfit. You
Yeah.
know?
Cody Rhodes will definitely come out dressed as Guile at some
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Probably right around March of next year as the movie comes out. Same thing with Roman Reigns. He'll probably come out dressed as Akuma. Andrew is he's not that funny anymore. He used to be. He's not that funny. Too much of a political commentator now. He's annoying.
I never jumped up really to watch any of his comedy. I was more so watching the podcast and laughing off of that.
Which one? You watch Brilliant Idiots or Flagrant?
Yeah, Brilliant Idiots.
Brilliant Idiots. Yeah, Flagrant. He's a fucking moron. He's not really good on it. And there's just certain things about Andrew Schultz that just don't resonate with me.
Is that
It doesn't rub it rubs Tony the wrong way, folks.
It just doesn't work with me. I like Big J Okerson.
It's a third live action adaptation of Street Fighter.
Yeah.
The third.
Yeah, the first one.
I'll be honest, I don't remember the second. The
I don't remember
first
the
one
second
is
one. Remember the first one.
Maybe it was like
Yes.
Japanese. I don't know.
The second one, they might be talking about that weird Jackie Chan thing where
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It might not be from.
where it wasn't a full movie. It was like a scene in one of his movies.
Oh,
Where he dressed up
the
like
only
Chun-Li.
like seeing that and seeing Mortal Kombat were the only seeing the first Mortal Kombat were the only like action video game movies that I was just like, okay, I remember anything else that happened after that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, Alpha Red, his stand-up was funny, like his first couple ones. But when he started getting into that political commentary bullshit, that's when I was like, dude, shut the fuck up.
Filming only began in August. It says.
Yeah, it's very, very early.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very early. That's why Cody's gone. Listen, I'm enjoying the build-up. I'm probably going to watch it. It's one of the last pay-per-views they're going to air on Peacock, if I'm not mistaken, which is fine. But once they go now, this is what's going to bring us to this next topic, and I'm happy to see about this. Malik brought it up earlier before we went live, and he said that Stephanie McMahon was basically telling everybody about a VPN, and you should use a VPN to watch basically the WWE network.
I don't think she was telling people to do that.
No, she's sponsored by a VPN. She said,
Yeah,
you should
but
watch.
a lot of people don't know that you can do that with VPN.
Well, now you know.
Now we know.
So guess what, everybody? Get
If
yourself a
you
VPN.
if you want to watch something that is in a different country, you just set your VPN to that country, and then all of a sudden you get it on the streaming service.
And Malik said that in Europe, everything is on Netflix. So the pay-per-views, everything's on Netflix. So if you use a VPN and say you're in Europe, you could watch all of the bullshit on Netflix and not have to order ESPN. Now, here's the kicker. I assume they're going to find a way to fuck us on that one. They'll
You
figure it out.
can't.
They can't?
You can't
All
because
right.
then you'll have to like.
I know these fuckers going to hire big wig fucking
That's
smarty
like-
pants. Be like, hey, shut down those streams. They're VPN in it.
Yeah, but that would be impossible because then you screw it for everyone who is actually living in that country.
Oh, I see what it is. A double-edged sword.
Yeah, because the VPN you
Double-edged
have
sword.
to, unless the only way they could fix that would be to make VPNs from certain countries who don't have any streaming stuff.
Well, let me ask you this.
But how you gonna
If
do
if you pay for a VPN
Mhm.
at this
that? You
point,
can even do for free.
well, I know, but hold on. If you pay for a good VPN, let's say, right?
Yeah.
Would it be cheaper than to pay for all of this bullshit to watch WWE?
If you said that
Quite
everything else is on
possibly.
Netflix, you just need Netflix.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
You just need
They
one
always, whenever they advertise it to us, they're telling us, even if we don't live over
Mhm.
in another country, hey, this is what we have. You have to watch this here in the United States by this one, this one, this one. Like I said before, you're watching WWE programs. This is if you're like a hardcore WWE fan. On Peacock, on Netflix, on Tubi,
Yeah,
on YouTube, and now on ESPN.
that's a lot.
That's a lot.
Just get the
That's
VPN.
taking up that's taking up the time that you may want to just come home and relax or turn around and jump up. And I mean, yeah, it's streaming, but are you really going to pay attention? For me, if I want to watch something, I prefer watching things on a bigger screen. If I have to watch it on my phone, it's obviously because I'm traveling somewhere. But
Yeah.
it's still a lot to catch up and follow. And if you're a big wrestling fan, you're going to watch New Japan, you're going to watch TNA, you're going to watch AEW. AEW is another one that could consume up a lot of your time. It's been an end of an era for me on my end because I'm the only crazy, well, one of the few crazy ones out of the group of our friends that will pay for a full AEW show. And now I've entered the era of ordering it on Amazon Prime Video,
Yeah, wow.
which wasn't bad.
Yeah.
But now the word is that they're probably on the first pay-per-view for them to do it on HBO Max instead of you going from this place to this place to this place.
Yeah.
But it might be cheaper if it's on HBO Max, maybe,
Okay.
since all
But
the
this guy,
content for AEW is there.
fucking A, man. This guy was watching. I forgot. I always forget his name. He really hates AEW, and it was basically like mirroring everything I've said. But what I was saying 6 years ago, when everybody thought I was crazy. He's saying it now. Now, have you been watching AEW as of late?
Actually, yes. I
Has it
I
has it
most recently watched Wednesday night show
has it been any good?
from the ECW arena. Um,
That's a long pause.
it's tough.
Okay.
The main event of the show was Darby Allin versus Claudio Castagnoli, aka formerly known as Cesaro. There was a point in time in my life where I was a big fan of Cesaro.
Yeah, me
Since
too.
coming to AEW, he's been, I don't know what. It's just like I'm just here and I'm getting a paycheck. Yeah, he's wrestling and he's working hard, but there's no real character depth because he's just following around John Moxley forever and a day with the story. Hell, almost since coming to the company. Uh,
Yeah,
I
because he
feel
was
like
doing
it's
that.
too much of both WWE and AEW with going through tables. I feel like there's a show all the time where we need to see that, and now they're
Mhm.
doing it in bigger and broader ways. Obafemi had a great match on Sunday up against
Someone lost
Javon
again.
Evans, and he picked him up from
I saw it. I
part of
saw
the
it.
ring and tossed him through the table, which is already
Yeah,
crazy.
I
The
saw it.
guy did the same spot earlier in the week, taking on Trick Williams,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
it was completely different. He was flying backwards.
yeah. That,
Darby gets military press from one side of the ring all the way to the floor, bouncing off the table, doesn't even break. I think we need to chill out with that before there's some serious neck injuries or arms broken.
when I watched that NXT event with Felix came over, he's like, "Hey, want to watch Heat Wave or whatever it was called?" I was like, "Yeah, sure." We put it on, and I saw that table spot, and I literally looked at Felix and I go, "So I guess Javon Evans is their version of Darby Allen." I said, "I guess
I,
that's pretty much who he is.
the
He's just
when
a
I
big."
saw when I saw that, I was just like, all right, bro, you need to chill out because you're only 21, 22. You have ways to go.
Right,
Darby, who's also young, but at this point, it's like, what can you possibly tell him? He needs to do something that's just over the top. And I
right.
feel like Darby was like, oh, you want to see me go through a table and be more reckless than this guy? Hold my beer. And then it just happened.
I think that kind of stuff, they're gonna learn real quick. They're gonna suffer a serious injury that they can't recover from. I don't know which one's gonna happen to first. And I'm sure Darby Allen has been hurt before. Obviously, he does skateboard
Yeah.
and all that shit, but there's gonna be an
These
injury that you're not gonna be able to recover from because you're falling from a high spot, and you're not gonna be able to protect yourself in time, or something's gonna happen. Like I don't trust those crazy moves. Like Obafemi tossed that dude like a
mhm,
baby, and he hit that tape like that was a cool spot. Had I not seen Javon Evans almost kill himself 4 or 5 days before that, when he was
correct.
on the ropes and basically just did basically a senton from the ropes
Free
like over
falling.
the table. Yeah. So it's kind of like even when Darby Allen does the shit, it's to me, it's just like, dude, it's reckless. I don't really consider that pro wrestling. I consider that stuntman work.
so
And
so here so here's the thing, Tony. Mick Foley was doing it so he can get more money,
yeah,
more zeros and commas added in to his bank account.
yeah, yeah,
And when he did it and the things that were done, despite us not agreeing with it today, it was convincing with how he
mhm.
went about doing it.
Yeah. No, he when he would get slammed off a floor or some shit, like it wouldn't happen all the fucking time. You wouldn't see it like every week with him. Like it'd be at a pay per view, he'd get tossed off the fucking apron onto the concrete, or like something like that, like where he would toss off, or like when he did the shit with the Rock and the chairs. It was always a big pay per view. He always saved it. Like these guys are doing this shit on NXT and on Wednesday Night Dynamite, and then you have to go to a pay per view and do and top what you just did on regular TV. And how do you do that? Eventually, you're going to hurt yourself. You're going to hurt yourself real bad trying to top yourself. That's what worries me about those high spots. I understand why they're around, and I understand why we utilize them in like exclamate a feud or to ignite a feud, to do something along those lines. But to me, it should be few and far between because there's too much risk there, and not enough reward. Like I know the crowd will remember the spot, but when you do it too much, you're diminishing it. And when you go for the biggest spot, people are gonna be like, meh. I just feel like eventually, we lost Malik.
Oh no.
Yeah, but I feel like eventually, it's gonna catch up with these people. Like, but mark my words. I know I sound crazy right now, but mark my words. It's gonna catch up with people, and they're not gonna be able to fucking to protect themselves, and they're not gonna be able to fall correctly. It's only a matter of time. I've seen it happen 1,000 times to people. So Darby Allen, while he was able to protect himself and shit like that,
Sorry about that. I
okay.
was like, damn phone call ruined everything on my end.
What's up, Silly? It's good
I
to
was
see you.
over here scrambling.
Nah, but I'm just. It's almost like they're getting lucky, and it's going to catch up with exactly Talib. Like right now, you're playing off luck, and it's good and it's cool for the spot when you watch the spot. But like when I saw Javon Evans do the first one, I said, as soon as he walks backstage, if I'm Shawn Michaels, I'd be like, I do that Lou Brown Major League, nice fucking catch, don't ever fucking do it again, like that kind of shit. Like it was a nice spot, it was crazy, but don't ever do that shit again. I wouldn't encourage. Oh, we got to top that. Oh, but toss him, because now that's going to become your thing. Everybody's going to expect you to be the table guy that gets tossed and gets silly way to a table. And it's the same thing with Darby Allen. What is he going to do next? What is he going to do next? Like, eventually, there's nothing you can do next, and that becomes your identity. And then you can't like get over because you've only gotten over because of the spot, because of the bump you take, and eventually, your body won't allow you to take those kinds of bumps no more. Like, everybody says your body has a certain amount of bumps, a bump card, right? They say you're punching your bump card too much. That shit, you punch the entire card, and you need a new card because it hurts. That shit is not fucking safe. I don't give a fuck who you are. I don't care how smart you think you are. You can't fight gravity. Gravity's always going to win. So I just feel like those high spots, they're going to lead to serious injury. But whether it's Darby Allen, whether it's Javon Evans, whether it's one of it almost killed J.D. McDonough. And he just did an acai moonsault. Like he almost like what? Remember he said he snapped his head so hard he thought he killed himself. They thought he was dead when he hit that table.
Yeah.
So just keep that in mind, man. Like people who love those high spots, they love all that shit. That literally takes, years off your career, years. So Darby Allen is what, in his early 30s, late 20s, early 30s, you say?
Yeah.
Right? I say by the time he hits my age, your age, 40, 45, 46, he's going to be like Mick Foley, where Foley can't even fucking walk.
Yeah.
It's going to see. It's cool now because you're in your 20s. But talk to yourself when you're 40. That 40-year-old you is going to go, what the fuck were you thinking? You could still be doing this. And as a prime example of that is Randy Orton and John Cena. Like John and Randy did serious bumps, but it was very few and far between. And now look at them. Randy and John are in their late 40s, going into their 50s, and Randy Orton looks like Batista now. Like he looks like he's in the best shape of his fucking life, and he could still go and he's fine because you don't take that insane risk. Like Hulk Hogan was able to fight into his 50s. Flair was able to fight into his 50s and 60s because they had a very good, limited fucking move set that worked. I know people don't like to hear those names because they're old and no one wants to see that. Everybody wants to see the fast-paced shit. But the fast-paced shit is what leads to the injuries. So as long as you understand that, then I can't say nothing to you because you're just going to continue to do it. But no one is learning from that. And I feel like it's going to take a big catastrophic injury for people to be like, oh, shit. Like maybe we should. Like it's starting. I don't know if you've noticed. It's starting to kind of come around. People are starting to kind of get sick of the high spot. And they want storytelling again. So that comes back.
The thing. So I remember. So I told my girlfriend. I said, I said I'm gonna take a chance. This is breaking news.
Okay.
I'm gonna go where none of my friends have gone before, to an AEW pay-per-view.
Oh my goodness gracious!
They're coming to Newark, New Jersey, in November, and I was just like, screw it. The tickets are pretty cheap. I'll
Yeah.
be seated in the solid area. I may need to hold my nose because some people don't believe in, proper hygiene. And
That's a fact.
my lady and I watched the AEW pay-per-view from beginning to end, not from the pre-show because that was just too much to watch. I probably caught like tail end of the pre-show.
This was the Forbidden Door.
Yes. And the thing that I was just like, yeah, she's not going to want to be down for this. The spot where Darby, I believe, purposely, before he got his ear punctured with a fork. Did you see any of that?
Absolutely not.
Cool.
Yeah, not
I was kind enough not to share it with anybody because I don't want to gross anybody out. And you just seeing him take, because I think he ripped his earring off to do this spot, like beforehand, like quick. So obviously to get it already going, and then Moxley at some point got him and just started Abdullah the butchering him with a fork right through his ear. It was just the most cringe and like disgusting moment to have been seen.
This is what I'm saying, dude. That's what
That
they
was
resorted to.
AEW?
That was AEW. Yeah,
Yes.
of course.
Yeah.
John
Isn't
Moxley.
that also where they like the thing, something in some guy's back?
John Moxley.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was John Moxley.
Okay, so the Hangman drinking Swerve's blood.
Yeah, that was.
We
What?
have we have Darby trying to set Jack Perry on fire.
Yeah.
We get the Janice board with Moxley getting suplex into it and going into his back. We get this thing with the fork through the man's ear.
Wasn't it also the girls with all the blood?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
there's
they
been
always
several
talk
moments
about
with that
AEW.
too.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember what happened
Stuck in
that
someone?
Hangman. I'm
Yeah,
trying to remember what
John Moxley, the nail
I'm
board.
trying to remember what Hangman did to Moxley at All In. I know he did something where he cut him open, and that was just absolutely ridiculous. And just like these are the moments and things that people want to see. Like,
Yeah, I don't know.
That did big spots and had longevity was RVD, but at the same time he was limited. Dude, but RVD would do the Van Terminator, the Van Daminator, and the only biggest high spot I've ever seen Van Dam do, and he only did it a few times against big guys, is when he would springboard to the rope and dive to the crowd in ECW, and he would do it to like Bam Bam Bigelow and guys that he knew were going to catch him, they were going to protect him. You know, Van Dam was very few and far between. The highest spot you'd ever see from Van Dam was a Van Terminator or a Van the 5-star Frog Splash. You never really saw crazy spots. It wasn't until the Luchadors came into America, and you saw planchas and suicidos through the ropes and all that crazy stuff that people
with Van Dam, one of the craziest things about him was his selling at best.
That is true. Yeah,
The man would be able to spring up out of a pile driver. Nobody else was doing that.
Yeah, that's one of the. As soon as you said his selling, that was the first thing I thought of was the Tommy Dreamer pile driver.
Yeah,
he popped
and
right
he
out.
actually did that a few times with other people too. It's just that's probably like the best one anybody had ever seen.
Yeah. Again, known for selling, not high spot, not diving into it. Like that's what I'm saying. It's just shit like that. Like Darby Allin's not known for selling; he's known for diving.
There's got to be tons of guys. Like I'm still surprised Matt and Jeff are still just going in the ring, period, and still doing the crazy things that they had done 25 years ago today.
Now, here's the thing. I'm glad you brought those up because those two guys are the original high spot guys, right? And how many times has Jeff Hardy fallen off the wagon because of pain pills because his body is completely shot? How many times? Because I've lost count.
It's more than enough.
Yeah. Okay. Because
it's more than enough. And thankfully he's good now, you know.
Yeah, his body is saying to him, you need to stop the dumb shit. And he now just does the classics in the ring with fucking Matt, him in the hardcore, right? Okay. But he fell off the wagon because of pain pills constantly because his body was like, what the fuck are you doing to us? Like, it was like, we cannot continue this. You have to stop. You know, so I like I say, you want to do high spots, do them, but just realize that the more you do them, the higher the risk and the less the reward. So that's your fucking call, however you feel about it. Now, in terms of AEW, I only reason I brought AEW up is because I hear this guy I put on his show now. He does every single day. This dude, and every single day, it's something else about AEW.
Are you referring to JD from New York
Yeah,
or somebody
yeah.
else?
No,
Okay.
JD
So here was something that I wanted to make mention to. I don't think I did. Did you watch the Insight Chris Van Vliet or Vliet, whatever his name is, with Jake Hager, Jack Swagger?
I did. Yeah. I did.
Okay. So it's clearly obvious that Hager's one of the guys that doesn't have an NDA that he signed.
Yeah.
Because he basically let out and let loose. Some things may have been false because he had basically stated that it was FTR that didn't want to come in and work certain
Yeah.
storylines. Part of Collision, though, if we remember, they printed part of almost every beginning Collision show. When it was a show that was new, fresh, and actually likable to watch.
Yeah.
There was a point where Collision slowly was becoming one of my favorite shows, and then CM Punk exited, and the rest was history. But he basically flat out was like, "Fuck Tony Khan," like straight away.
Yeah, he
That was
said
what he
that.
said. You know, he
But
was
he
like,
also had the
his daddy's
audacity.
little billionaire and all this stuff that he
Yeah.
just came out of his face saying he, you know,
He
he's still
also
doing
said
well for himself with owning a trucking company and everything, but he let it out like this is what's going on.
he also said that he's like, well, I just did blood and guts, bro. You're offering me a year and a half, buddy. You're Jack Swagger. You're lucky you're there in the fucking first place. Shut up and sign a deal, or don't sign the deal. Like, you're lucky that guy offered you a deal. How many times have you watched AEW and you're like, why the fuck is Swagger here?
Oh, when I was watching it and trying to still be I'm not gonna say I'm not a fan of Chris Jericho. I'm a fan of Chris Jericho. I just haven't been a fan of the work he's done within
Yeah.
at least the last 2 years. But then I was just like, Hager's there, and you just felt like Hager was there because Jericho's there. I'm pretty sure they're tight, so that's how that works.
That's how he came in through the inner circle. It's the only reason he was there. He was a big
Correct.
reveal for Jericho. So it's kind of like, the only reason you're there is because of Jericho. Shut the fuck up and count your lucky stars that you got, that you were there for that long. Now I'm not saying that he's not wrong about Tony Khan, because obviously, like, everything he said, you were like, I said that. I said that.
Yes.
It's nice to be validated, but like I said, and here's the thing, Malik, and you will attest to this right now. I have been saying this about Tony Khan since the day AEW started. I said they found a money mark, and everybody like, oh, no. Like, okay, he's not a money mark. He's a money mark, and money marks always wind up wanting full control because you're spending their money. And that's exactly the way basically he said, oh, everything was good while Cody was there, but then when Cody left and Tony wanted all control and he started running things. Yeah.
I think for me, looking at it now, with the company being around in existence for almost 6 years, for at least 6 years now, they had some moments that you strongly preferred and liked in the beginning of their run. There wasn't everything. They had some hot moments. They had when Jericho first started and he was helping carry the company. There were some things throughout the pandemic time. There was the beginning of the Bryan Danielson stuff when Punk came in. MJF finally taking the lead and being the top guy of the company. And I have to say, since around but pretty much the last 2 years, there are some things that it's just tough to stomach and understand, like what is going on here.
From now on, I'm going to start calling Tony Khan Mr. Freeze, because I've never seen somebody throw ice buckets on hot moments in their company the way that guy does. Like
Wardlow is one of the things, or one of the people that comes to mind, who was very hot maybe 2 years. I mean, there were a few years where he was hot, but he had a solid 2 years where he was that guy, or you felt like he was going to be a major player in the company.
Yeah.
And then for whatever reason, things changed, then plans changed, and he becomes a lackey. I'm mentioning him because he had just came back at Forbidden Door, and you turn around, and you're just like, God, man, like, why?
That's what I'm saying. He had moments where, like you just said, Danielson, CM Punk, there was so many moments where you're like, oh, this could be the healthy alternative. And then he would just throw buckets of ice right on it and cool it right the fuck off. And it would go nowhere. And it would be just a complete waste. I would see these things and I'd be like, this is what a mark does when they run a show. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. And they're just doing what they want to see. The high point of AEW for me was during their YouTube show. Once they nixed that and CM Punk leaving, I lost interest. That was a lot for a lot of people. Again, he had all these moments where they would hit, where you're like, all right, I think now finally AEW is going to be that healthy alternative. And no, he would just throw these ice buckets on these moments where it would just go nowhere. Like MJF, like I said to my wife, or was it yesterday, Friday? I said, this is why they'll never need WWE will never need MJF, because they went out and got somebody better in Logan Paul, who can basically do the same thing as this fucking guy, but better, because he has a giant influence behind him with the YouTube following and all that shit. Where MJF is just a good heel, he's a good wrestler. I'm not saying he's not. He's a great wrestler, but now you have virtually the same type of character in Logan Paul, where I'm better than you. I know I'm better than you and all that shit. It's the same fucking gimmick. It's just done, I think, at a better level in WWE because it works. Where MJF, they just threw ice buckets on him, and you can't get out of your own way now because you can't develop anything with him, because every time he kind of rose up, you just threw ice on it, and now he's with the Hurt Syndicate.
Well, that's the thing. He's not even with them anymore. I don't know how long you knew this or not, but they parted ways a couple of weeks ago.
That already ended. This is what I'm talking about. It's ice buckets. You throw ice buckets on this shit. And then I heard that he cashed in a contract for a number one contender, lost, and then found a way to get the contract back.
So here's the thing. He never signed the. So allow me to explain that story with him and Hangman. Basically, Hangman punked him into giving, basically putting his title shot up from the Casino Battle Royal that they had. Okay. But he never physically signed it in order for it to be official. So what he did was, on the following week, before we even get to Forbidden Door, is wrestlers kidnapping wrestlers, and the police never show up to arrest anybody. Because if we're watching the show, we got to put some sort of imagination in it. And they kidnapped Mark Briscoe. His henchmen were Ricochet and the two Samoan guys that Ricochet is now with. The Gates of Agony. They tied up Mark Briscoe to a chair, and MJF said, if you don't give me the things that I want, pulls out a can of gasoline and says, I'm going to set this man on fire. Arson and murder on a wrestling show. And nobody comes to save this man for the 2 hours and 15 minutes they're going to be on the air. Nobody's calling TBS and saying help. I know I'm being ridiculous at all the things that I'm saying, but
hey, listen, WCW, when they beat when NWO beat up the fucking guys in the parking lot, the people in the surrounding areas called the cops because they thought it was real.
Listen, there was this is probably one of the more bizarre things that happened in WCW, but Cowboy Bill Watts' son, Eric Watts, put Arn Anderson in the STF at a gas station, right outside a gas station. All right. And because of that, Eric Watts got in trouble and got suspended for at least a month with no pay in WCW. Despite it being an angle, there was something that was going to be taken away from it.
Jesus Christ. What's so dumb?
Listen,
that is so dumb.
But today we threaten people to burn them if we don't get a title shot.
That is insane to me. Why didn't Mark Briscoe take revenge, or why didn't he call the cops or anything like that?
Well, remember, you mean after the fact? I mean,
Yeah.
Don't know. He just vowed to turn around and get revenge, and he's going to get violent with him. That's how he's going to get his revenge back on MJM. When I see you and I get my hands on you, whatever town it is that we're both going to be flying into for the next show.
What a waste. The AEW is a complete waste of time.
Okay, I get what you're saying, but also in the same sense, I don't want the company to go away. I would like for the company to get better. I would like to, because I'm going to continue to support it till I'll be like, all right, I can't do this anymore.
I can't believe that you are such a more patient man than I.
We are currently doing content right here, so of course I have to.
Yeah.
I have to do my part on my end to give you guys a review on certain things.
Malik, we've been back doing this show for about a year now. I watched AEW twice. Once by myself and the other time with you during a live watch along.
Oh, that live watch long. Whoop,
I never
rough.
watched it again. After that, I had literally gotten everything I could possibly get from that fucking thing after that watch along. I was like, there's really nothing much I can get at AEW after this. I mean, I've never seen a company sink themselves so quickly than AEW. I don't understand why. I don't understand how. But like I said, Tony Khan is Mr. Freeze. He freezes everything that he sees can potentially turn this shit around. I don't know if it's because he wants it to be his idea. I don't know if he just doesn't know if it's a good idea because he just doesn't know any better because he's a moron. I haven't the slightest clue. All I know is he is the reason why it's in the shape it's in. It's him. If he steps out of the way and puts a smart wrestling guy, it could change. It could change for the better. But I just don't know who that smart wrestling guy is. But it's definitely not Tony Khan.
I want to let you know, Tony, whenever you make the statement, you turn around and you say, it's the reason why it's shape he's in. I always feel like you're relating to Hogan in that moment 25 years ago at Back to the Beach. So it makes me laugh whenever you say it.
I just watched that. A call 2 weeks ago. When he's
that's the reason why it's the shape he's in, because of bullshit like this.
Yeah. Brother. Anyway.
Oh.
I appreciate you for hanging out with us, Malik. I really do have fun on these Saturday morning Spot Monkey Radios. I want to thank the chat for coming in and making it lively and having your opinions. Did we get to all the chats, babe? Did you put them all up? Yeah, we put up all the chats. Thank you, Justin Booth. Thank you, Alpha Red. Thank you, Talib. I think Rowdy Riles stopped in. Quite a few people. He refuses to see the real reasons his son's world title reign was cut short. He wasn't over as IWC hype him up to be. Who's this now?
I believe he's referring to Jey Uso talking about Rikishi. That's the only thing that makes sense for me.
Oh, yeah. So, but you know what? Again, but going back to that, everybody's wrong. And Rikishi, isn't he getting in the hot water with Zilla Fatu and his mom? Are you seeing that ridiculous shit?
I saw that too. My thing is, there are a lot of things that have been said about Rikishi. There are a lot of things that are coming to light about him from different people, and I feel like it's definitely going to cause him to potentially stop talking as much, to potentially not get himself in any more hot water, because people turn around and these situations, not to be funny, they'll have the receipts.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you better end your podcast, bro. Your fucking mouth is writing checks that your ass can't cash.
In the words of Will Mills, comedian, pack you up, son. That's what it's coming to.
You can catch Malik over on Instagram at I Love Wrestling History. There he posts all kinds of great wrestling clips from the history of this wacky world of professional wrestling.
I'm finding a lot of All Japan pro wrestling stuff that I'm going to be posting that were from like 40 years ago. So that's going to be pretty fun. It's even funny when there's a caption translator that comes up for these Japanese matches for the commentary, which is interesting. I've never noticed that with Instagram.
Yeah, it's a Roger Jackson thing at his promotion. Yeah, it was exactly, Talib. It all happened at his thing, and he said nothing about it. Like I said, he speaks up when he shouldn't, and he's silent when he should be speaking up. So he's not very smart. So now that's all I'm going to say. Of course, you can catch me here. Let's just thank you guys for being a member. This episode will literally air 15 minutes later on False Finish. So if you want to catch the replay, if you just came in halfway, this will go up on False Finish literally in 15 minutes. I'm going to download it off here and put it up right now. We will be back next week, 11:30. I like the time 11:30 gives me time to set things up.
For sure.
So we'll be back every morning. I know the fucking end screen is going to say 10:30 on Mondays. I'm sorry, I have to update that. I haven't updated that yet, so I'll update that as well today. But I appreciate for everybody hanging out with us. I will be live again here, members only, tonight at 10:30 p.m. when I'm driving a truck, simulated style. It's a great fucking game, Malik. You just check out and just drive a truck. That's happening.
I have to come and visit you eventually.
What?
Well, I said eventually, if I'm invited over, I have to come back and visit you guys.
You have to. I
think it's been a while. It's been a while.
Here's why you have to come back and visit, because you have to do your yearly cleared 2K for me, so I can get all the rest.
Shit, you have it. You have it. That's so bad,
dude.
That means I have to. That means I have to pull up soon, then,
buddy. I don't even have the Winged Eagle title yet.
What?
Yeah.
Maybe because then maybe once in a while we can wind up doing lives where I'm sitting there right next to you and everybody just sees boom.
Yeah. In studio, I like
Also,
the in studio stuff. But
yes. Also, congratulations to Greco,
yes.
since the child's
Greco
born and
hasn't
brought
been
to
here.
the world.
Yeah, Greco hasn't been here because he is now the proud father of a baby girl. Congratulations,
Correct.
Greco. May you buy a gun ASAP.
Oh,
That
I already
divorce-
told him. I said for you, and I said I'm gonna ask you the same question. I was like, do you have your gun license? Straight
As I
like
told
that.
my wife, I know for a fact because my brother had nothing but boys, my sister had nothing but boys. So if I put
You need
if I put a baby in this one, I'm gonna need a gun. I already know how that's gonna happen. So so we're gonna stay away from that as long as we possibly can. Anyway, we appreciate all you guys for hanging out with us today here on Spot Monkey Radio. Like I said, we'll be back here every Saturday on the members only. Thank you guys, and until next time, GK favor everybody. Deuces.